he says. Are you my daddy? Are you my mommy? So I assume we're back at the house, at the dock. Or is he trying to do it alone?
Now, if you ever come back here, I'm going to kill you!
Has that been effective?
Hey, Tyler? I've been looking all over the place for you. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Whoa, whoa. Hey, let's get you off your feet, okay? Come on.
Sitting here trying to use superpowers alone.
Listen, if you want to be alone, I'll go.
Yeah.
But if there's anything you need to
My
get
boy
off your
Mikey, you
chest,
can stay everywhere.
I won't snitch.
Anywhere else.
You saw Alyson? How is she?
Yeah. I went back to check on her this morning. She was in a pretty bad way. Whatever went on between you two, it wrecked her.
Look, I don't want to drag you into this.
I do.
Well,
Michael's
I'm
my
already
hero.
in it, and you look like hell, so...
I just got a lot on my mind.
Well, I know one thing that's good for that.
Go
As a wise
fishing.
man once said, fishing is the cure to the wounds of the heart.
Was that you?
Was that wise man you?
Hey, like I said, I gotta write my own legacy.
Solid. Make
So,
your goddamn
yeah.
fast. Let's do this.
I don't know.
Come on, we're burning daylight. Let's go.
What's about?
Where are we gonna go?
Why go anywhere when we have a perfectly frozen lake right here?
Ice fishing in November?
Yeah, it got cold way fast this year. Climate change. That shit's gonna kill us.
Global
But hey,
warming. It's gonna make this place
Fish
cold.
first. You can walk behind me if you're afraid, though.
You're actually serious.
I am a very serious man, Tyler.
Serious
go.
man in a
We
serious
still have to get
world.
everything out of the car.
So what, a serious house for serious people? What's the phrase?
Stage is set. It's showtime.
Catch
Whenever you're
some
ready.
Fish.
You sure you don't want to go?
Nah. Look, no way I'm gonna rob you of your first catch in your own backyard.
All right.
Riveting. Real ice fishing action.
Got everything you need, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Man,
The nice cup of joe.
I'm so gonna miss this.
Miss what?
Just hanging out and fishing and... You know, I'm not gonna have a lot of time after we move to Juneau with school and the JC and everything.
Right.
So did any of the people you came up with at Fireweed land in Juneau?
Oh, I'm not sure. Once they left, I never really kept in touch.
Really?
What moves on? All emo like
People
you.
came and went a lot. And besides, everyone moves on eventually, right?
Not everyone. Not people who get so close they're like family.
I already have a family.
Well,
Do you?
there's a reason we think of families as trees. They keep on sprouting new branches and...
Oh,
Your bushes.
Hey, I think I've got a bite.
You got this. Reel them in.
Let's catch this fish.
Come on. Pull up on the rod.
Old S.
Now give it a nice pull.
Yeah, come on, catch me a fish. I caught a fish. That's a good looking fish right there. Effort settle.
Got it.
Bravo.
First of many.
Pace yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's both.
Thanks, Sensei.
Fish hard,
Hey,
run
did you want to
hard.
make solid plans to hit the buzzard hole? The river might ice over soon, so we shouldn't wait too long.
Yeah. God damn, Alan. Just
Yeah,
fish,
sure.
Michael. That's just
Sweet.
all the game.
I was planning to go Saturday. I'll pick you up on the way out.
Cool. I'll set my alarm to ass crack of dawn. You got anything good in there?
Maybe, but who says I'm willing to share?
Okay, fine, be that way. You have this whole fancy bag just for ice fishing?
You don't mix and match. Ever.
Jeez, you don't mess around, do you?
Told you earlier. I'm a very serious man.
Oh,
Alright, here we go.
catch me some fish. We catch them all. So good at this game as opposed to
I mean,
woo-wee, catch them all.
okay.
Opposed to that weird breathing game. I don't know why,
How
but I
about
was
them
terrible.
apples?
I was
Nice
terrible
job.
at that game.
So, you weren't all talk.
Impressed?
I only see 2 fish in my cooler.
For now. So do you always drive around with an auger in your car?
It's not how it looks. Okay, I swear. I was already planning on going ice fishing with the family this weekend. I made a mistake of forgetting the auger once, so we had nothing on hand but an ice chisel. That'll scar a man for life.
And similar with
Fair
like
enough.
jumper cables.
So, what are you gonna make with what we catch?
Hey, you got me figured out. Slice of fresh fish, topped with garlic, pesto, walnuts, just a drop of olive oil. Pure perfection. As my partner in crime, you're entitled to a cut.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not the biggest
Works
fish
for me,
fan.
partner.
But... Okay, let's actually talk.
So, about last night. I don't know what Alyson said, but from my side, well, I thought we were on the same page.
And then we very
It
much
turns
weren't
out-
all of a sudden.
We weren't.
Hey, so don't tell her I told you, but last week your sister was almost unbearable. She was jumping up and down with excitement at you coming back.
I know.
Really?
You better believe it.
I know, man.
Look, the last time you saw each other, you were kids. Just because things have changed doesn't mean you can't work it out.
Maybe I pushed her too hard.
I know. It's probably my fault. I really pushed her last night. I just don't get why she always has to run away from everything.
You blame her?
Avoiding the problem doesn't make it go away. She's so fixated on selling the house. It's like she's trying to bury the past. All of it. Even the good parts.
Look, I'm not picking sides here. Okay, but she's been murder house girl ever since it happened.
Yeah.
Now she's got a chance to put it behind her and start fresh. Shit, I'd be pretty eager too.
I was the kid who killed that killed his mom. Yeah, let's not really bring that so much into...
I guess I didn't really think about that. I've been so focused on my own shit. It's been hard, you know? Figuring out how to live.
Got a lot.
here?
There's like 6 or 7
mean
different
Outside of fire
things
week?
going on.
Yeah. When I first got there, all I could think about was getting out. It felt like a cage. But after a while,
Despite all the
it
rage.
started to feel more like a shell. I figured out who I was in there.
Like
But
a-
now
like a
I've got to
butterfly.
work out how to be that person out here.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, none of us really know what we're doing. Like,
It's
shit
just
may look
going.
bleak now, but your sister's never gonna give up on you. And you can lean on me too if you want. Just be careful, okay? Got a bad left shoulder.
I'll keep it in mind. Thanks for listening.
Don't mention it.
Don't you say anything.
Got this fish. Yeah, this fish is mine. Mine, fish. This fish is mine. Nothing can stop that fish.
Easy.
That very sad.
Whoa. Bam.
Still
3 out of
catch the
3.
fish, man.
Well played. I got nothing. That was
Yeah,
clean.
fish all the fish.
I'm
Can you
a little
toast all the
disappointed.
toast?
Can I ask you something kind of weird and maybe hard to answer?
Weird and kind of hard to answer my jam. What's up?
It's my nickname in
How'd
high
you
school.
know you were ready to trust anyone enough to put yourself out there?
Okay. Yeah, that is a hard question.
Told you.
There's not really two ways about it. You gotta be willing to take a hit. Look, I stopped listening to the entire indie folk genre just because I was dumped at a show once. But I
What?
put myself back out there just like
Been
everyone
there.
who's ever gotten their heart stomped on. Because when you meet someone who really sees you, you don't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah, let's keep this professional.
Hard to argue with that, but it's pretty risky, right?
I mean, yeah, but you only get so much time. So when I see a chance, I take it, even if he might shoot me down.
Yeah, you're a catch. Not for me, because I'm a
He'd have to be
psychic
kinda dumb
transitioning
to
twin
shoot you
person.
down,
but-
wouldn't he?
Well, now I'm not judging anyone, but I am, kind of a catch.
Was that a pun?
Some people
Fish
are worth making
puns.
puns for. Don't you think?
Yeah, sure. I don't.
I think we're in total agreement here.
You're an awesome dude, but
Yeah.
I don't. Did I
get
just
this
get us
feeling
into a
like I
relationship?
could say or do anything with you, and it'd be cool. I feel safe.
That's
You
what I've been
are.
saying all game. I mean, again,
Because
not
your sister
romantically.
would kill me if I did you dirty.
Yeah, she would.
She's killed
So, it
before.
doesn't look like you're catching anything with that.
Whoa.
You want me to show you how it's done?
Go for it.
I caught 3 fish, son. Don't you dare tell me how to fish. This is
Hey.
hot. This feels.
You're
this
missing the
doesn't-
show.
Are you shirtless? That'd be freaking weird if you just turn over and Michael's just got no shirt on. And it's cold out. A part of me is like, let's do the thing, but then I'm like, nah, man, there's way too much going on. Screw it. Go big or go home.
You okay?
I feel like there's too much going on to throw in a relationship, but whatever. You know, you live. You play Tell Me Why once. Just want a solid, great, fantastic romance with you, but I guess I'll take a hard-hearted, heavy romance. Plus, I caught fish. You know, catch a man's fish. Not make out with him. This is all gonna wrap up in like One scene.
Yeah.
Yes, one way to put it. Hey, Allie. I think I'll just show myself out.
Okay, call me later.
You know I will.
So, I'm boning our housemate. How's your day been? Did you get any cobbler?
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's totally fine. We were done anyway.
Catch anything?
You can say that again.
Mostly ice, but yeah.
Tyler, I'm sorry for freaking out yesterday. All of this, it's just been really hard on me.
Don't apologize. I was being an asshole. We should have never pushed you that hard.
Come here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my, you look at
God,
those
why did I
eyes.
miss you so much? It's only been a day.
I've been told I have that effect on people.
You don't tell me.
Smooth. Don't want to
Okay, so I need to show you something.
What? You're kind of weirding me out.
Can we sit down for a sec?
Can we go stand in the loft? Want it? No? Cool.
So, what is it?
I was just at Sam's. He's not our father.
How do you know?
I asked him, point blank.
Arson's not his style. You believe? I believe Sam's. Let's just go to Arson's not his style.
I'm not surprised. Burning down the barn didn't really seem like a Sam move.
That's what I said
Yeah,
last time.
I guess it was silly to suspect him in the first place.
It's
He'd never hurt
Tom.
Mary Ann's kids. There's something else. Look at this. This was taken in 1992 when Mary Ann first moved to Delos Crossing. See that ladder? Sam told me the barn has a loft. He helped her build it. Apparently she never told anyone about it.
And it's still there?
As far as he knows, yeah. What do you think? Should we give it a shot?
We've come this far. And a hidden loft? That's got secret shit written all over it.
Let's go.
You go take a look. I fed the birds, remember? I don't know why, but it was cool. I enjoy it for my own sake. Oh, she's fast. Only I could move fast. Where's my move fast button? Place got burnt a little.
You want to take another look at the picture?
Yeah, I
It
know.
might help.
And explore. Sort of standing there. It looked like metal in the picture. I guess it's just like black and white or something.
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate. My brain was going to some real dark places.
Storage. Yeah. I'll protect you.
Don't worry. Whatever's up there, I'll protect you.
Big
We'll
brother.
see how chivalrous you feel when you've got bats in that perfectly coiffed hair.
Hey. I am the knight. Guess we have to look at the picture. Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Nothing here. Just a regular old light switch. I thought I saw something red over here, but guess my mind's just playing tricks on me. No lever.
No.
Man, this place is a mess.
If there was ever a time to find a magic portal.
It must be over here.
For a second, I
It's a
thought there
two-hour.
might be another secret stash down here, but just a loose plank.
Look.
The handle should be behind this.
I don't even see that there's any. Oh, nifty.
Ah, there it is.
Use.
It's opening up.
The secret keeper always did store all the best secrets in the clouds.
Yep. Come on, let's find a way to climb up there.
Well, that's way too high to jump. You want to give me a leg up?
I'm so not touching your nasty shoes. We'll find a ladder.
Ladder. Look, there's a ladder. Who would have thought? You. Oh, this room's all trippy. There's like a window. Is that an actual window or a fake window? Two of them look fake, but that middle one looks like it might be real. Which means they never noticed a real window.
Can you see anything?
Nope. Nada.
Zilch. Zero Reno.
Here, found a switch.
Whoa! It's the Mad Hunter! Once upon a time, there was a young princess.
Holy shit. Well, that shaved a few years off my life.
Focus. Don't worry, I'll fight it. The first final fairy tale.
It's
Her story.
Look, she left us something.
Is that pi? Square root? What's going on over there?
It's got a combination lock with letters.
Do you think she hid the code somewhere in all this?
Knowing Mary Ann, probably.
No, let's just take a hammer to it.
You want to do this?
Yeah. Let's start here.
Recognize this?
Yeah. It's from the story where the goblins tricked the Mad Hunter.
It looks like it, but it's different, right? Can you check the book?
Goblin Street.
Well, here it is. Why do you think she changed the picture?
I don't know. Maybe it's a message. Like, the differences between the two mean something.
Something about Mary Ann, right? Since she's the princess?
Yeah. Why don't we try to find them all and then see if it makes any sense?
Okay, so
Okay, spot the differences.
there's
It
no goblin.
moves. Oh. Some of these parts are buttons. The Mad Hunter still has two hands here.
So this was either before the Gold Lady cut off his other one, or after he earned it back?
Which either makes it before most of the stories or after.
Yeah, at some point when she was running away from whatever the hell the Mad Hunter meant to Mary Ann.
The princess is running away from the Mad Hunter.
Who was sent by the Gold Lady, according to the story.
Do you think the Gold Lady could have been Mary Ann's mom? I mean, she always used to say she moved to the end of the world to get away from her family.
Yeah, you're right. She ran away. Just like the princess is here.
Why do you think she added that castle in the background?
See the color of the flag? It could be her mother's castle.
Gold.
It looks like the princess is running away from it.
So, Mary Ann ran away from home. And she grew up kinda rich?
Yeah, so once there was a young princess who fell.
It's not the same title, so I guess that counts as a difference. That's it.
Solved it.
Whoa.
What's in there?
Time to examine.
Pictures, letters. Have you ever seen any of these?
Just
All
a
the
gold
pictures
lady.
of Mary Ann I've ever seen were the ones hanging on the walls.
The Gold Lady.
The
That was
final.
definitely her mom.
So, did Mary Ann grow up kinda rich?
Maybe. Would have been nice to have some of that.
A final collectible. So this one.
The old bear
Yeah.
is a mighty beast who lives in a beautiful cave of ice. He is in love with the wise princess, but she doesn't love him back.
Oh, that's not exactly what it said.
The Gold Lady is the wise princess's cruel mother, who sent the Mad Hunter to drive the girl back to the palace.
Well, good talk. Got it.
Oh, poor thing.
Why would she keep an old drawing of a pet in here?
She misses it.
I can't believe she was a ballet dancer. Mary Ann.
Oh,
And a good one, too.
God, that's so not her.
maybe again. Nothing you know about her seems to be
Wow.
true.
I don't think I've ever
So-
seen a picture of her that young.
I think that's her mom in the background.
Did you know she studied engineering?
No.
Declaration.
But it looks like she changed her major to visual arts.
I don't think she actually got it changed. The paper's not signed and it's all wrinkled. Like someone tried to throw it away.
Which I mean, I guess with all this crazy shenanigans, all these crazy contraptions. Engineering makes sense.
An artsy environmentalist. Yep, that sounds like Marianne's exact kind of catnip.
Marianne, I can't do this anymore. You deserve better than cliche bullshit like it's not you, it's me. But the truth is, it's all just been too much to deal with, and I've realized I'm just not ready. Maybe if we could have dealt with all of this on our own, without your mom constantly putting pressure on us. Things could have been different, but the damage is done, and it's probably too late for that now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're an amazing person, and you made me a better man. I hate myself for doing this, but I feel like we both be better off apart. There I go with cliches again. Please don't ever stop being who you are. So must be Dad.
Could this guy have been any more cryptic?
Tyler, see that little light? I think we need to solve this one next.
Okay.
There's the gold lady again. She's all over the board. There was a figure of her in that stash by the Mad Hunter painting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe all of this is related to what we found in there.
Hey, I can move the piece next to the gold lady.
All these pictures. They look like images from Marianne's life before Delos, don't they?
Well, some of them do anyway.
Maybe that's it then. We need to figure out which ones are real?
Okay, so her cruel parents kept her locked away in a messy palace. Guess who saw the bird?
Is the gold lady setting the animals free?
Judging from the broomstick, I'd say she's getting rid of them, not setting them free.
That, and then we saw the dancing
Princess
ballet.
dancing, playing violin, spinning wool. I guess this is stuff she did for fun?
Notice how unhappy she looks in all these pictures? I don't think she was having any fun.
Shoo.
The wise
Yes.
princess looks like she's trying to run away.
And she's being watched by the gold lady.
Actor, we saw a painter right there.
What's the gold lady do? Is that it?
It's opening.
Yeah. Okay, so let's...
What's in there this time?
The house.
Is that Carol?
Yeah, and Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
Such a happy young man. Salmonberry Park.
Salmonberry Park. Huh. Is that some kind of commune?
Looks like it. So weird to imagine her living in a community like that. With, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Marianne when the whole town was turning on us?
From the good people of Salmon Park, Kodiak Island. Don't be a stranger. Keep looking for those answer to questions in your head. Smiley face. We missed you already. Solid road. Sorry, we're losing you to modern civilization. We'll miss your positive attitude and your adventurous spirit. Also, your wild edibles picking skills. Edibles picking skills. Sure. Pretty Marcus. Bon voyage. Marianne, you have the warmest, most beautiful aura I know. Peace, blessings. Godspeed, Kabat.
Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
Here is Delos Crossing Pal's number 55, but I let him know you were interested in the house he was selling.
Oh, so that's how she found the house. Her father.
Marianne, I hope this letter finds you, but since you didn't leave any contact information, I will have to send it to your aunt and hope for the best. I'm writing to inform you that your mother passed away last week. Sucks. Maybe, I don't know. Sort of, sounds like it. We just had her funeral reception. The house has been filled with people all day. Friends, family, colleagues, and church. members. It's now 11 p.m., and I'm sitting alone at the kitchen table, surrounded by dozens of trays of food, flowers, and sympathy cards. Your cousin, 80, brought in a bunch of beautiful photo album, brought, brought in a beautiful photo album full of other holiday pictures in La Cagnière. You're in all of them, but you weren't here today. We haven't heard from you in 4 years, and we can only hope you made it to Alaska or whatever, wherever you are, and you and your child are both safe. Your mother had been sick and depressed for years, and you can imagine why. The pain of being shunned by her own daughter, knowing she would never get to see her grandchildren grow up. It spread through her body like cancer and consumed her completely. All this suffering simply became sim- all this suffering simply because you ran away like a temperamental little girl instead of accepting her help when you got pregnant out of wedlock after dropping out of college and without a penny to your name. She only stepped up to help because she knew you weren't ready to raise a child properly. A mother's duty doesn't end when her children leave the home. Now that you're a mother yourself, I hope you can begin to understand that good parenting isn't about coddling children. It's about providing for them and shaping them into the people they're supposed to become, whether they like it or not. I won't trouble you again. You made your intentions clear. Just thought you should know. Dad.
What the hell? Marianne was pregnant in 1992, before she even got here.
Before us.
So,
Do we have a long-lost sibling out there somewhere?
It's possible, but she could have given it up or miscarried. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right.
is this someone we met?
Do you think we could track down her father?
You mean the grandfather she never told us about? I don't think I want to.
You're not at all excited about having more family.
You saw the letter. I don't think we want any part of that.
Fine. Let's keep digging.
I'm just trying to think. Long lost, hunted a long lost? That'd be weird. That'd make it even weird. So, hello.
This just lit up, so I think we're supposed to try this one next.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this stuff.
Here, the secret keeper, hiding secrets in the clouds.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but I'm doing
Gold
it.
Lady stays locked up in her castle. The old bear's gotta be in his ice cave. We'll let the mangy muskrat have his rock back.
Hmm.
The Ice King goes in the forest, obviously. There you go, stalwart moose.
Big
Back
frog.
in your pond, big frog.
Okay, that's cool.
The very old beaver definitely goes in her den. Moonhag's gotta be imprisoned in her lake.
Her leg.
That's the pious pelican spot. Crafty goblins go here.
Goblins.
The mad hunter, always on the princess's trail. The wise princess goes in the big wooden house, of course.
And everybody in this place. Do I still have them? Do I still have my collectibles? Yeah, okay. Right here.
Why are these pictures from the Book of Goblins here?
I don't know.
Cool, good talk.
Tyler, we're not done with this one.
Okay, fine.
What's this?
Some sort of map?
One day she took her tiara and ran away to the forest.
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
It's not select here.
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
Doing. So it was.
That's the Gold Lady's castle.
Yeah.
Some sort of clock? This is the princess's house.
Salmonberry.
What's that plant thing on top?
Yeah.
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
This looks like a dinner. It seems like it's not doing anything.
Okay, that's interesting.
Maybe it's broken?
You need help?
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas?
So, the castle, clock, dinner party.
I'm trying to make sense of the castle in
Is
the
that
bottom left
where it
corner.
began?
Well, it's like we were saying. The gold lady lived in one, so it probably represents Marianne's childhood
Yeah.
home.
So then,
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
okay, so it goes there. Does it go here?
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
What's that plant thing on top?
This is the princess's amulet. Why is nothing happening?
Okay, so I think I have a rough understanding. So this is the first one. So she went here to
What's that plant thing on
salmon,
top?
and
Oh,
then
those are
salmon
definitely
to
some
the
sort of
clock.
clock.
And
This is
then-
the princess's house. This looks like a dinner party with the
Yeah,
old
there we go.
bear
Bam,
and the
found
very
it
old
out.
beaver. Yes.
What's in there? Another letter?
The princess's loss.
Princess
Is this from
Lost
the Book of
Treasure.
Goblins?
Not that I know of.
Well, sure looks like it could be.
Oh, no problem. Yes, but Princess is lost. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had made it through the woods and to the house with nothing left but the clothes on her back and a single item from her old life, a splendid tiara. She lost almost everything in her desperate fight with the flight from the mad hunter. Trees tore the rucksack from her back and shredded her dress and left a pattern of red welts on her skin. But through it all, she clutched a tiara close to her chest, fearing any misstep could cause the fall of her arms to break. The tiara had its own spot in the big wooden house, a pillow near the window where the sun would catch on its surface to shine and wink. The princess could stare for hours at the tiara, marveling in the beauty and running her thumb down the curves. Every morning she would wake up and she would tend to it, polishing its every surface to be sure it shone as brightly as it possibly could. Then she would pluck it up, place it upon her head, and walk the woods, feeling somehow more complete. Because what, after all, was a princess without a crown? Every night she would place it upon its pillow and give it a quick kiss and go to bed. On her way she would pause and glance back to be sure it was still there. She hated to be separated from it, but she knew it was safe. The pillows while she slept. So that must be in the box. One night the princess woke to a raging storm. The wind howled against the walls, rattling the windows in their panes. Fearing a gust might burst open a window and blow the tiara to the ground, she plucked it from its pillow and brought it to bed with her. All through the night she held the tiara close, and in the morning she woke to find herself still cradling. The storm had passed, and the princess relaxed. That day was the same as any other, though she perhaps gave the tiara an even more thorough cleaning, grateful as she was that nothing had gone wrong. That night she placed the tiara upon its pillow and gave it a quick kiss and went to bed, pausing on her way to be sure it was still there. In the morning she woke and sensed immediately that something was wrong. In the living room the tiara lay upon the ground broken, dull and faded. Nothing else in the room had changed. The pillow was exactly where she had left it. The window was closed. There had been no storm, no wind, no sign that anything at all could have gone amiss. Only the broken tiara. Mute upon the ground, she picked it up and held it in her arms with a guttural cry. But though she tried to fix and polish it, it was gone, beyond repair and with no shine left. The princess held the tiara through the day and through the next night, sitting in the same spot at the window where she used to polish it. When the sun rose, she looked outside and her gaze fixed on a sapling. She remembered how the sapling had survived the winter, clinging to life despite the frozen, unforgiving earth. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground beneath the sapling. As the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly gone, and with it the final link to her old self. she could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara and a beautiful gown, but a wan woman. That wan woman again, alone in a deep and ancient wood. And that's how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. So the tiara must be her baby. She was pregnant before then, so she had a miscarriage. Maybe she gave birth and it died on its own or something. Like what SIDS or whatever that thing is. Just So is it like an ultrasound? I hope it's not the actual baby that's in the box.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah, she got pregnant.
You're gonna solve it for me. Got it.
And she ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy. But then the baby died.
Okay, so I was like, maybe there's a third out there, but
I can't even imagine how she must have felt.
apparently not.
She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
This story's nothing but sad.
I guess having us helped her move on. But when it looked like we were gonna be taken away, she snapped. She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
I don't either, but all I wanted was to understand what happened to her,
Guess we understand.
and now I do.
Yeah. But we still haven't seen what's in that chest.
I sure hope it's not a baby. Swear to God.
Okay, so how do we open it?
The princess lost her most precious treasure.
Just a
That's
tiara.
why it all happened.
I still can't wrap my head around it. Tyler, we're not done with this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So L-O... What are you? E-L-E-O.
All right, should be easy enough.
L... Is it Leo? The
Yes.
kid's name was Leo? Oh. What? There she finally found it. What is happening?
Whoa.
Did it just get darker in here?
A baby blanket?
Okay, it's not a baby, so...
Ollie. She noticed.
Dear Alyson and Ollie,
I was her son.
you write stories to understand and be understood, but what good is a story without a first act? I'm sorry to kept mine from you for so long. All my love, goblins.
Why does she have a photo of that tree locked in here?
It's the burial place. Baby Leo.
Is that...
Leo Ronan.
Why didn't she tell us about him?
She didn't tell you
Why didn't she
shit.
tell us any of this?
I mean, it's fucking terrible. That's why.
Yeah. Pretty rough, yeah.
Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
We did.
It was a letter to you guys.
It's better we know what happened, even if it's hard. And
She
there's
said,
one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
Yes.
running from your problems, That's what you say, running from your problems isn't solving.
Come on, let's go to the dock.
There was cool
It's
other
time to
pictures
finish
in
this.
there. Crafty goblins.
The crafty goblin's loot.
That's from The Princess and the Two Thieves. I drew the original.
And I distinctly remember drawing that cake, which is arguably the best part of that illustration.
All right, Picasso. Then you probably remember what the goblins stole in that story, huh?
Oh, about to find out. Goblins, goblins, goblins. Okay, so frog, goblin. Is that the goblins in the ice cave? Goblin in the ice cave. The princess and the two thieves. Okay, so can we only make it out by doing this? I don't know. The Princess and the Two Thieves. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. The house was built. What are you doing, man? It was built strong. Was built from the strong wood of the forest and kept the princess warm and safe. The princess was not a native of the forest, but she never spoke about where she had come from, for it made her cry. She did not have many friends, but that was how she liked it. The forest was big and deep, and many paths led to her house, but not many visitors passed by. The princess was happy to be left alone in the big house in the deep forest. She knew that the forest would provide for her, but that its generosity had to be respected. So she only took what she needed. And for a long time, life was just fine for the princess in the big wooden house. One winter day, when snow blanketed the earth and ice bent the trees low, the wise princess realized that food was disappearing from her house. It was not much at first, only a few fruits and nuts and eggs vanishing during the night. Maybe it's the birds, she said, or the mice. And for a time, the princess was okay with losing some food, for the winter was long and the creatures needed to eat too. But then, small items started to disappear as well. Spoons, plates, forks, and knives, and blankets. It was as if every time she was in one part of the house, something disappeared in another room. That can't be birds or mice, said the princess. I think I have a thief. So she went outside to look for traces in the snow and noises in the wind. But there was nothing to be found, nor to be heard. That's strange, said the princess. Maybe the thief is hiding inside my house. For many days she hunted, looking behind the curtains and under the bed, in the attic and the chimney, behind the poles and under the carpets, but she found nothing. As she searched, food kept on disappearing, night after night. I will make a cake, frowned the princess. A big cake, with every egg and fruit and nut and ice and every fruit and nut I still have. So that only I have one thing to keep, so that I only have one thing to keep my eye on. She spent the whole day making a cake and using everything she had left. The cake she made was so big she could hardly carry it. If I manage to protect the cake, I'll be able to survive the long winter, she said. So she added a lock to the oven and she kept the big cake safe inside. But the next morning, the lock had been opened and the cake had disappeared. At first, the princess cried, because that cake was the last of her food until the snow melted. But then she noticed 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour, and she followed the tracks to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. This is how the princess realized that 2 tiny thieves were living under the wooden house, right below her feet. So fruits and nuts and eggs. So fruits.
Maybe they took some of the princess's fruit?
Okay, so some fruits. Doesn't seem to be any nuts. Eggs.
I'm pretty sure they stole some eggs.
And some nuts.
Some flour for the cake, maybe?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure.
So it's some fruits, nuts, eggs, maybe it's birds. Some spoons, plates, forks, knives, and a blanket. Yeah.
What if they took some
There we
spoons?
go. Okay. Oh,
That's it. I I always wondered where that drawing went. She said it was her favorite, and then one day it just disappeared.
You are the best mom in the world. The prettiest princess. Alright, cool. Solving puzzles. I don't need to solve, but I'm
The
there.
old bear's gifts for the princess. I'm totally blanking on that story. What did he give her again?
Why don't we open up the book and check?
The Bear and the Princess. That's that picture. Okay, time to read another one. The Bear and the Princess. Once upon a time, in the ancient deep forest, an old bear stood on the bank of the river, swiping at salmon on their way to the spawning ground. Just as he'd got his paw on a particularly fat one, he heard a woman shouting for help. He considered simply eating his salmon, but then she screamed again, and he lumbered over to investigate. After a short walk, he found the princess clinging to the top of the tree while a wolf snarled and snapped at the base of the tree. Old Bear would normally not get in the middle of such a situation. After all, as a fellow predator, he understood the wolf needed to hunt. But when he saw the princess, he was struck by her beauty, and he knew he had to help. With a great roar, the bear heaved into the hind legs, raising it to its fullest. The wolf snapped and snarled in his direction, but the bear roared again, and the wolf took off to the tree, his tail between his legs. The old bear fell back onto all fours and stared at the princess. She regarded him fearfully. "You can calm down," he said. How do I know you didn't save me just so you could eat me yourself?" asked the princess. "I suppose this is a fair question," admitted the bear, "but I promise I won't eat you." The princess had no reason to trust the old bear, except that he had kindness in his eyes. He had kind eyes, okay. And so she slowly made... What are you doing now? She slowly made her way down the tree. When she reached the ground, the bear only watched her, and so she supposed she was not going to be eaten today. "Thank you," she said to the bear. "Of course," he said. "Can I walk you back to your home?" "Of course," said the princess. And so the princess and the old bear walked together through the forest, back to the big wooden house. After that day, the princess would occasionally find gifts from the bear. A fresh-caught salmon, a handful of ripe berries, a newly bloomed bluebell. One spring, when a sudden flaw flooded the path out of the princess's home. The old bear was there, and she rode his back across the river. The old bear began to think that the princess should be his mate. After all, she had no mate. She needed one, and he could keep her warm, and provide her a much more suitable den, and catch fish for her, and protect her from wolves. She, in turn, would brush out his fur and pick berries without smushing half of them, and scratch that one part of his back he couldn't reach. And with how she took care of the goblins, she would be an excellent mother to his cubs. One day the old bear came with a ring of spruce and asked the princess to be his bride. "I'm sorry," said the princess. "You are a very good friend, and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I cannot marry you. You're a bear. I'm a princess. It would never work." The old bear was crushed. "Can we still be friends?" he asked. We will always be friends," said the princess, "but I will never marry you." Harsh, man. The old bear and the princess carried on their friendship, and after 1 year, he tried again to ask her to be his bride, but once again she refused him. This happened 1 year later, and 1 year after that. And then finally the princess said, "Old bear, you are my dear friend, and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I would sooner you have left me to the wolves than marry you. And that is how I will always be. I have my hands full with 2 goblins who live under my house, and they are all I need." That wounded the old bear deeply, but it was finally enough to stop his proposals. They remained friends, and he continued to give her gifts of fresh salmon, ripe berries, and newly bloomed bluebells. The old bear never again asked the princess to be his bride, much as he might have wanted to. And this is how the princess befriended the old bear, and how she refused him. So salmon, berries, and bluebells.
A handful of ripe berries?
Yeah.
Some roses, maybe?
Nope.
Actually, I'm not sure. A newly bloomed bluebell?
Yeah. Damn it.
Fresh caught salmon? Nice. Man, He had it bad. Just couldn't let go.
Poor Sam. Sorry for the note under the door like a prison inmate. You okay? I stopped by and rang a couple of times this week, but you didn't answer. I could see the light in the haylofts, so I figured you were in, but didn't want to talk. I hope I didn't ruin everything. I know I probably came on kind of strong, but the thing is, I don't know how to talk to a woman like you. You are strong and kind, and you know so much it's hard for me to know how to keep up. I guess all that went to my head, but I want you to know I got the message and I'm going to get out of your head. And there doesn't seem to be any bad feelings. We can pass in the street and say hello, or not. It's okay. P.S. I noticed your car was leaking, so I put some sealant in there. You might need to take it to the shop, though. Let me know if you want me to come with you, because sometimes these guys try to rip you off. If not, no big deal, Sam. Oh, thank you, Lila.
The crafty goblin's good deeds.
Of course. The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Pelican.
Well, what did they do?
You know, I don't really remember.
Hi, Maya. Goblin's trick, Goblin's inner voice, Goblin's intimate friend, Goblin's deal beaver, Pelican forgives. Okay, so this one. Pelican forgives goblins. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins in a cave below a big wooden house. They lived with a wise princess who shared as much food with them as she was able, but it was never quite enough. This left the goblins hungry, very hungry, always hungry. One day, as they were out foraging for food, the pious pelican landed on a rock and dumped a smorgasbord from her beak, which the goblins knew was magic and never emptied. There was King Crab in red, blue, gold, and scarlet. King Crabs in red, blue, gold, and scarlet. Scarlet red soon. Veiny blue shrimp, pink shelled scallops, oblong brown clams, purple spiny urchins, even one prickly red sea cucumber. The food just kept coming. They watched as the pelican ate one clam and then took a nap. Do you think she would mind if we took a... Do you think she would mind if we took a little? Asked one of the goblins to the other. Her beak never empties. She won't possibly miss a couple of crabs, said the second, licking their lips. They agreed, and so they crept over and flinched some crabs and ran. The goblins scarfed the crabs, but when they finished, they found that they were still hungry. She won't miss a handful of shrimp, said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the shrimp, but then, when they were finished, they found that they were still hungry. Goddamn hungry caterpillar. Maybe also a few scallops, said one of the goblins to the other. The goblins scarfed the scallops, but when scarfed the scallops, solid word usage. But when they finished, they found they were still hungry. So, they went back for clams, and then urchins, and finally, even the sea cucumber. Gross. Finally, they were not hungry, but there was also nothing left. Just then, the pelican wakes up. What happened to my food? She asked. Unable to lie about it, the goblins confessed their crimes. The pelican was dismayed, but she was a charitable-hearted bird. She knew she could tell the crafty goblins were growing little creatures. Goblins, said the pious pelican. I will share my food with you, but you must, in return, follow my example and be as generous with others as I am with you. Take that to heart, and I will have considered your debt paid. But we have nothing to give, said the goblins. You have your nimble hands and your crafty brains and your loving heart, said the pelican. The crafty goblins realized how much they had to give, and for the rest of the day, they looked for ways to help the other creatures of the forest. They found the stalwart moose struggling with an itchy, hard-to-reach spot on his back, and so they climbed up and gave it a good scratching. Next, they helped the old bear, who could not get the honey out of a narrow beehive. They climbed up to the top of a tree with the hive, and then dropped it and cracking it open. Finally, they found the princess, crying over a loss she would not speak about. I think we know about the loss. So they wrapped their little arms around her in a great big hug and stayed until she felt better. When they were done, they returned to the pious pelican. Did it feel good being as generous as I am, goblins? Asked the Pelican. It did, said the goblins. I'm glad, said the Pelican. He's talking. We all have problems that we can't solve on our own. But if everyone goes about with generosity in their hearts, then there's always someone to help. But we all must commit to do so, or there may be no one there to help you when you need it. This made sense to the goblins, and they thanked the pious pelican for her food and the lesson. Of course, by this time they're hungry again, and that remained an ongoing problem until the day the stalwart moose taught them to fish. But that is another story, and that is how the pious pelican forgave the crafty goblins, and how she taught them charity. I remember that. I read the goblins. I realized, okay, so they scratched the moose back, gave the bee, and then hugged. Okay, so they helped the beehive.
They broke open the beehive for the bear.
Yeah. Scratched the moose back,
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back.
and then hugged the princess.
They hugged the princess when she was crying. Nailed it. Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
The Pelican Crossing is a specialty gift boutique located near the Oceanic Glacier Catering in Gastineau Channel. Catering to Gastineau Channel tourists as well as the Delos Crossing locals. We specialize in an assortment of high-quality product from home accessories, home handmade souvenirs, personalized apparel. Pelican Crossing will be the first store to act as a relay between the buzzing arts and crafts scene and customers, in addition to a wide array of novelty handcrafted products. The customers, Pelican between buzzing and customers, in addition to a wide array of handcrafted products, will enjoy friendly and knowledgeable customer service from the Vecchi store owner, Tessa Vecchi, and up-and-coming artist, Mary Ann Roman. This business plan is prepared to obtain financing in the amount of $20,000 to purchase inventory and help cover expenses in the first year of operations. In year one, the Pelican Crossing plans to break even, and in year two, we plan to generate a moderate profit. Working on the executive summary part of the business plan. What do you think, Tessa? Okay, they're going to open a store together.
The very old beaver's repair list.
That's the story where the princess's house gets damaged by a storm and the animals help her fix it.
Yeah. What did they do to fix it again?
One more story. Beaver fixes the house. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. One night, a particularly violent storm shook the house. It shook the shingles on the roof and the planks in the walls. It even shook the beams on which the house stood, blowing the whole thing near to the ground. The princess hid in a closet, fearing the house would come down on her as she slept. In the morning, the house was still standing, but it was badly damaged. The storm had blown shingles off the roof and planks off the walls, and even bent a post upon which the house stood. The first two things she could fix, but the last concerned her. What will I do? I don't remember her voice, so I'm just gonna make it up on the fly. What will I do? What will I do? There we go. What will I do? Despaired the wise princess, for though she knew many things, she did not know how to fix the big wooden house. Just then, the old bear came by to see if the princess had any trouble in the storm. When he found her nailing planks back into place, he said, "Stop, princess! Let me do that for you." "I'm happy to do it," said the princess. But if you want to help with the roof, you may." When the pair were done with the roof and the walls, they examined the bent support post. "I could throw my body against it," said the old bear. "I am very large." He stretched up into his hind legs, being sure the princess could appreciate how very large he was, then charged straight at the post. He threw his body against it with an impressive thud. The impact moved the post, but too far, and it ended up bent in the opposite direction. Oops. Wise Princess decided more precision was needed. She thought then of the very old beaver, who kept an excellent crafted dam. Perhaps she can help us. She went looking for the very old beaver and found the industrious animal hard at work, slopping down mud on a part of her dam that had been blown apart in the storm. Most of the structure was unharmed because the beaver was very good at building things. The princess knew she could come to the place. Beaver, she said, my house was damaged in the storm. Would you help me fix it? I believe I could do that, yes, said the very old beaver. She paused at fixing her own den to follow the princess. The very old beaver examined the big wooden house and nodded. It'll be very easy to fix. It'll be an easy fix, of course, she said as she sat upon righting the posts and with loud slaps of her tail. When she was done, the wise princess stroked the beaver's head. Thank you, beaver, she said. The wind blew the shackles off the roof and the planks off the walls, and even bent this post. Now, thanks to you, I still have a home. Think nothing of it, said the old beaver, who returned to work then again. That winter, the very old beaver grew ill, very ill. She was not able to fix her den, nor to gather food. The princess found out. She set about delivering meals to the beaver. She brought stews of corn and beans, baskets full of bark and twigs from the beaver's favorite aspen. One day, the wise princess noticed the beaver's den had begun to fall apart. She set about fixing it, and though she was not as talented as the very old beaver, she kept the creature warm and dry. Thank you, said the old beaver. Of course, said the princess. You helped me when the storm blew my house near to the ground. Thanks to you, I still have a home, and I am happy to do the same. The princess continued to nurse the old beaver until the day she came to the dam, and the forest was still. No birds sang, no branches rustled, no small things skittered within the underbrush. Oh, said the princess, staring sadly at the dam, where she knew the old beaver had passed on. Goodbye, my friend. And that is how the very old beaver saved the big wooden house, and how the white princess repaid her kindness. Okay, so we got the shingles, the planks, and the posts.
She fixed the planks that were blown off the walls.
And that.
She fixed the roof shingles. She slapped the post with... All right. Damn. That must have been rough on Eddie.
Yeah, he doesn't really like to talk about her.
Dear Marianne, you cover your ears every time I try to have this conversation. So I thought I'd have a better chance doing this in a letter. I know you don't like saying goodbye, so I'll keep my melancholic rambling short and sweet. I want to thank you with all my heart for taking care of me for these past few months. I can't even imagine how exhausting it would have been for you to look after a sick old lady when you also have 2 small children at home. I know you want me to keep fighting this disease, hoping for recovery, but it's always been a great strength of mine to know when it's time to let go, and that time has come. I'd like to ask you for one last favor. Please take care of Eddie after I'm gone. My poor boy puts on a brave front ever since his father died, but I know he's in pain. I would be so much more at peace knowing that he still has family. Maybe he can teach the kids how to fish. You did that. You love spending time with them. Thank you for the warmth and the peace you brought to my life. Give the kids a kiss. Will you? But seriously, it's nothing but depressing shit in this story. It's just like, hey, I want to have a dead baby. Here, I want to run away from home. Here, I want to have a possibly psychotic. We don't even know if she's psychotic. Maybe she was just like all it takes is one bad day. So it's just don't know. It's just one bad day and a crazy deadbeat father possibly murdering each other.
You really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
One last look around.
I guess we could stay a little longer if you think there's more to find.
I think we found everything, but there's all those puzzles, put all the guys there. Yep. Yeah, I guess we're ready to leave.
You really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
Yeah, let's go solve a crime or
Either way,
something.
I'm ready for
I
this
don't
to be
even know.
over.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know, there's not enough depression. Time to find some more. Okay, I got a run. That's nice. Where's the tree from the picture?
What are we waiting for? I want to know who was here that night.
Before that,
Let's try and remember who Marianne was arguing with.
hey, let's reflect over here real quick. It's where the baby is buried. It's where the brother. Gonna come over and reflect with us, Hicks.
This is the spot.
I can't believe he's been down there this whole time. We played Compass and North Star here. I wish she would have just told us.
Yeah, in our own way, I
She
guess.
tried to tell us. In her own Marianne kind of way.
Yeah.
The stories. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed.
That we just found out we have a brother, and at the same time that we'll never get to meet him. It's a lot to process.
Poor Marianne. Come on. Let's keep going.
This whole story is nothing but overwhelming shenanigans. Just, hey, you killed him and you've been in prison, except for you didn't actually kill him, and then your dad might be
It's
crazy.
time for us to figure out who Marianne was arguing with on the dock.
And your mom might be crazy, except for maybe she's not, but your sister might be very goddamn crazy. What? Oh, gotta hold it. Gotta hold it. Break through. We can do it together. Did they even get a look at his face? Can they see stuff they never saw? Yeah, oh man, would you look at that? Who could have called that one? The only, like, married guy that we've met it. I guess we met Greg's.
Tom? Tom Vecchi is our father?
Of course. It had to be him.
Yeah.
Tessa knew, didn't she?
Yeah, she must have. That's what she didn't want to tell us.
God, Marianne and Tom?
I know.
Gross.
What should we do now?
Yeah, call him out here and make him tell us what was going on.
And if he won't?
We know his secret.
We'll stab him.
He will. Tom? It's Alyson. We need to talk. We know it was you.
I mean, as shitty as a husband or dad or whatever, it's not like... I mean, I guess we'll find out. Like, as a shitty dude, definitely. He didn't stab her.